What are you doing, pup? All right. Should be. Yeah, it's live.
It's not showing up.
Well, you haven't refreshed yours. Don't worry about that.
Oh. All right. Let us know if you guys can hear us. I'm not getting any feedback yet.
Give it a second. You know, there's a slight delay too, so.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We never really know until somebody like responds if you guys can hear us or not. Yep, pup cam is on today. The boys have their antlers with them, so they're currently going to town on those, or at least Lotus is.
Yeah.
Enzo has decided he doesn't want to mess with his today, but Lotus has his.
Where is his?
I think it's under him, maybe. It was on there, so he must just be laying on it. He doesn't really want to play with it anyway. So we're gonna go over a couple things with you guys first. And we kind of have somewhat of an itinerary today to go through. The first thing is Will is feeling better. I know a lot of you were concerned about that. He had some allergy issues yesterday, but is perfectly fine today.
Yeah.
And when he has allergy issues, it's like total shutdown. So the house pretty much doesn't function when that happens. So that was yesterday. And I've been fighting a like headache / migraine for about a week and a half now. So that's kind of been off and on for me. It's gone right this minute, but it kind of comes and goes as it wants to. So I'm, for the moment, feeling fine. What do we want to... So we are going to switch up...
list?
Yeah, I have it over here. We are going to switch up how we do the live streams going forward. So you'll kind of get a glimpse of how that's going to work today. But we're not going to fully make that change probably until next week. But basically how it's going to function from now on is we'll come in, we'll kind of touch base on some things with you. And then we plan to have some sort of like format in the beginning, so probably like the first 30-ish minutes we'll have kind of a list that we want to talk through with you guys. Can really be about anything that's going on, and then after that what we'll do is we'll do like a question and answer type of deal. In addition to that, we are also in the process of creating like a frequently asked questions page. Riley, who is manning the chat for us, he's helping us out with that. And we don't have it like 100% complete yet, but you know, the idea in the future is that all of these questions that we continue to get asked every week, we love answering them. But for our people that are here every single week with us, I can imagine that has to kind of get boring for them hearing the same questions and the same answers. So the thought is that we'll kind of compile those as we go. And then that way, Riley or one of us can kind of direct you to the answer for those things that are constantly asked of us. And then that way we can answer things that haven't been asked before. So we're gonna try to get that switched over to that format next week. But like I said, for today, we kind of have some topics that we want to talk through with you guys, updates that we want to talk through with you guys. And then at the end, we'll kind of do like the question answer situation. Riley and Nick are both in the chat. They are both absolutely amazing. So any answers that you get from them, they're legit. If it's something that one of them can't answer, they always shoot it over to us and we'll take care of it from there if it's not something that they can answer. But they're amazing. They're in here every week with us. And they've been with us for a while, so trust what they're telling you. If you need anything else from us, they'll let us know.
So first and foremost, Enzo.
Oh, yes. All of you have been asking about Enzo. His paw is much better now. We are still currently wrapping it because we don't want, even though it's mostly healed up, we don't want any dirt or anything to get in there. We don't want it to get infected. We don't want to have to take another trip back to the vet. So, he just sighed really loud. He's like, I feel like I would say almost 100% better.
I just don't want it to accidentally cut back open.
It's
cut scabbing and everything.
Yeah,
so.
And I'm mostly just like overly protective when it comes to that type of stuff. So we'll probably continue to wrap it for at least a few more days. And then we'll let him go without that. But yeah, I would say he's back to being 100%, so he's good to go. What else we got?
Lotus, you enjoying that antler?
He is going to town on the
I'm going to take it away from you soon.
Yeah, he can be a power chewer with the antlers, which is why we always, when they have them, we monitor them with those, because he tends to overdo it. I think he just got a chunk of it.
So first thing we can talk about is you'll notice the social media icons on the screen, and one of them, if you don't recognize it, it doesn't matter, but if you do recognize it, it's TikTok. So the pups have one now. You can check that out. It's still that Enzo and Lotus. If you don't know what TikTok is, it don't matter. Patreon, the credits. So
oh yeah, I'm gonna let you.
Some of the videos when I edit and upload them are kind of out of order. So I'm putting all the Patreon names in the credits, but you may see your name one week and then on the next video it's not there. It just means that I did that video before the last video.
Videos,
for some...
yeah, they just get out of order sometimes.
Yeah, so you may see that fluctuate here and there.
I do want to stop for 1 second and say thanks to Vincent, who sent us a super chat sticker thing.
Oh, that's nice. No question?
Yeah, no question though.
Those are just free then. That's just the best. You did the update on Enzo on his foot.
Yep.
We have to do 2 drawings today.
We are going to have to do 2 drawings today, and we are trying to figure out like the most efficient way to go about this, because what has happened now is like the first person never responded, so then we did a double drawing last week, and then out of the double drawing we got the shirt to the one person, but then the second person never contacted us, so it's like we're getting stuck in this cycle of each week that we do a drawing.
Yeah, so
you know, it's,
I would like to do a drawing in the live stream.
Yeah,
I just haven't been able to figure out how to do that yet.
Yeah, so we're working on that.
I haven't found a program that can do it. If anybody knows one, let me know. But
yeah. But today we are going to have to do 2 drawings to make up for the one that we haven't gotten in touch with from last week, and then
Wednesday's video,
which was #Charlie. So we are going to have to do 2 this week.
Riley, gonna make an appearance.
Come on, Riley. You're almost hitting me in the face with the laptop. Jeez.
I can't really see her because the pup vision.
There's Riley. Oh, say hi.
She's so mad.
She doesn't really like me much. She likes Will. But she likes attention overall, so she'll tolerate to a certain extent.
We're just gonna sit there.
She's sitting like right in front of me, but you can't see her because the little pup cam is there.
You can almost see her. You can just see her ears.
Rally. She's really big for a cat, so every time that we take her in, they're like, wow, she's really big for a cat. She's usually like around 13 or 14 pounds, but she doesn't like, I don't feel like she looks very large for a cat. Like sometimes I see cats and I'm like, wow,
think she's like,
really
she's just
cat.
a big cat.
She's not overweight at all.
Yeah.
I'm like Enzo.
Enzo's fine.
Okay. What were we talking about? What was the last thing we were talking about? Because I feel like I was going to continue to talk about that.
I mentioned the Patreon comments, and then there was something else with Patreon. Oh, the early access.
Yeah. So, is it the $9 tier?
It's the ears up, yeah. So it's the middle tier.
So if you're in that middle tier in Patreon, you will see, because I think we've done it once, right?
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, so once or twice now. Basically, something that we added to that second tier is early access to videos. So like sometimes we'll have a video done early before he's gonna upload it the following day.
That's not a habit.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't happen consistently.
Sometimes they're done minutes before I upload them. Yes,
but sometimes we do get a little bit ahead. And basically what we did for that video, or those 2 videos, or however many it was, is we sent that middle tier, we sent them a link to the video, so they had early access to watch the video, which we thought was kind of a cool thing to have. And I think that video didn't wind up going up to the following day. So I don't know if anyone took advantage of that or not.
Yeah, a couple people. It had a couple views before it went up.
Yeah. So that was just something that we wanted to mention that's in that middle tier, that it was not originally on there. So we just wanted to let you know that we added that onto that tier.
We just felt like that tier needed a little something extra.
Yeah, it just needed something. We weren't sure, but I think that was something good to go with.
And then CBD oil update.
Yeah, so update on CBD oil for Lotus. It does seem to be working fairly well. I think I've noticed like a marked difference in his like anxiety and just behavior overall. I do think though that the dose needs to be upped, and I just haven't researched really. I just haven't researched exactly how much I can give him because I don't want to like overload him with it, but I do think for sure that his dose needs to be upped. And we've had a little bit of regression just this week. So he
goes back and forth. It just kind of depends on his mood or something. I don't know.
I noticed probably like 4 or 5 days ago, he was back to the whole like deathly afraid of the TV. So if like the TV's on and there's no noise on there, he's mostly fine. But like if there is sound playing, he will go into the bathroom and hide in there and lay down in there, or he wants to like get in a closet and hide in there.
But then there was one day where the TV is on, he's just snoozing like nothing.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. With him, it just really depends. But I do feel like we've had a little bit of regression with that situation, which is originally why we started the CBD oil.
Yeah. Was
to kind of get him out of that.
He never had an issue with TVs. Unless like if a thunderstorm came on, until it went away, he would be like sketchy. But then he was fine.
Well, it was the one video that had the wind in there.
Yeah.
It was our one YouTube video that had that in there, and that just like freaked him out, and that was the end of it. So I'm going to probably see if I can up his dose. I don't know how much I can up it by. We do have someone, like a subscriber, who's very knowledgeable with CBD oil. She actually uses it for herself and for her pup. And anytime I have any kind of weird questions, I reach out to her, and she's actually the one that researched the product that he's currently on to let us know that it had like a lot of really good stuff in it and whatnot. So I'll probably reach out to her and see what she says, but I would imagine we're probably going to up his dose a little bit. You going to come over and say hi?
Now she will mess you up.
Now she's going to whack you, and I don't want to hear it. Lotus.
You're in her bubble. And he hit the mic too.
And he hit the mic. So if you had headphones in, your ears are you're probably deaf now. All right, what else do we got?
We are going to try to get an affiliate with the CBD oil.
Oh, yeah.
So every affiliate is different, but sometimes they'll allow us to do discounts. So I know a lot of you have asked. So that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to reach out to them and see if they offer anything like that.
Yeah, because that could potentially get,
a little savings.
If you guys decide to go with it because you see that it's made a difference for Lotus, it could potentially get you guys like a discount and whatnot.
And obviously we would benefit too. They usually give the people something as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what the deal is with that. But you're gonna do that this week, you think?
Yeah, I was actually working on it earlier.
Okay.
I don't think you need his antler.
Lotus off. Go get yours. That one is not yours, sir. Go get yours. Yours is all jagged because you chewed that end off.
Yes, you did.
He doesn't care. They can't even see him.
I can see.
All right, what else?
Did you mention we're working on the FAQ? I think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And TikTok was on there. We did that. I think that's it for the list of like main stuff.
Okay.
That we had on.
Oh, what about
Casper bed?
Yeah, I did want to talk about the Casper beds. So we do love them. However,
they're big.
Yeah, they're like super big. I really didn't realize how big the largest one was. And our house really is not very big at all. One of these days we'll like give you guys a tour of the house.
We're accepting donations.
Will said we're accepting donations. It like literally 900 square feet. So the pup beds take up like a pretty significant amount. The other thing is that Enzo likes to sleep next to the bed where I sleep, and this bed is their Casper beds are too big to fit. So we're thinking of still doing Casper beds, but I think we're going to send these 2 back and get 2 mediums. And I know, like, if you look on their website, the medium says that it only holds up to, like...
96 pounds?
No, the large is 90 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know what dog is this big.
Yeah, and it only weighs 90 pounds, but...
It's like an anorexic Great Dane or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But the medium says it holds up to, like, 60 or 70 pounds, and Enzo weighs, 110.
No, he doesn't weigh that much.
He weighed 108 the last time you took him, which is practically 110. So, I think that's what... We still love the Casper beds. I definitely want to keep them, but I would like to maybe downsize them. 1, so Enzo can sleep next to me at night. And he's kind of been fighting us with that situation. But 2, so we can have a little bit more room to maneuver them around the house. Like, they are actually really hard to kind of maneuver in here. So that's really all I wanted to say about the Casper beds. We still love them, though. Like, definitely by far the best beds they've ever had. They're just too big for our house currently. Okay. I think that's it for the stuff that we wanted to cover and talk about. So now we can kind of...
He's dozing off.
Start doing questions. Oh, yeah, his little paw. Oh, you're not in focus. There you go.
Yeah, see, it's all, like, scabbed over pretty well.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good now.
I just don't want him to break it open again.
Yeah.
Boop.
Babe, don't boop him.
And this one's all sad because I took the antlers away.
We got the crybaby. He does like to pout. Babe, don't aggravate them.
They aggravate me. It's only fair.
All right, so we can start. I'll go back to the top and kind of skim through some of the questions. I know Riley and Nick have probably answered some of them, so I'll try not to repeat, but sometimes I just start reading them and it just is what it is.
Did you want to mention the food or no?
Oh, yes. So, well, I feel like you should talk about that because you were there and I was not there.
Well, I think just that we're always open to new things.
Yeah, we are always open to new things. We want to do always what is best for the pups, obviously. And the place that we get our antlers from, it's called Pet Once Cincinnati. And I don't know if that is literally just a Cincinnati thing or they actually have like Pet Once, at a different city somewhere. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know if it's just here or they have Pet Once in other places. But we actually have quite a few of them up here near us. And that's where we get their antlers from. But anyway, Will went in to buy antlers. I don't know.
That'll be in a video coming up.
Yeah. A few days ago. And you had both of them with you, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah. So he had both of the pups with him. So he wasn't able to like have a full conversation or anything crazy like that. But the lady that works there had mentioned that they have started their own line of food. And from what Will gathered, but I'm going to go in and have a conversation with her because who knows what he actually heard having both of the pups there with him. From what you understood, it was essentially like a raw diet, but in hard food form. So I looked over the pamphlet that he brought home, and I mean, there's a lot of good information on there. The one thing that I really like about it versus the food that we have them currently on, which I love the food that we have them on now. The one thing that I like more about this brand is that they make it in extremely small batches and they deliver it to your home, which our food gets delivered anyway, for no charge. It gets delivered to your house. But it doesn't sit anywhere for long. So like when you're getting it, it's only like a week old. So it's at its, freshest point in time, the earlier that they get it, the more nutrition that stays in there and everything. So I just liked that because who knows how long, like the bag of dog food that we're getting.
We like our food.
We love our food.
But we're just, it's not okay, we're done. We're always just kind of, we liked our food before we found that.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah. And you're really not supposed to change their food unless...
So it's not something we're just going to do.
No. We're going to research a pretty extensive amount on it probably. I'm going to actually go physically to the store and have a conversation with one of the people that works there. They did offer to give a sample, so I'll probably grab a sample at that point in time. But yeah, we'll definitely do some extensive research on it before we even think about switching them. But I know that a lot of you, a question that always comes up is, do you raw feed? And we do not, but we've always wanted to. It's just not a switch that I know how to make very easily. So this could potentially be a good way to do it, or get into doing it, or researching about it a little bit more. So
yeah,
we're going to look into it a little bit more. We always keep you guys updated on everything, so you guys will know what's going on. All right, to the questions. You got anything?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Will is feeling better. What are you doing?
It's like I need to get the camera to face this way now or something, because he's just sitting there like smiling.
I don't understand why he's panting though. It's not hot in here.
Because he was going crazy with Antler. He's not panting.
He's a hot mess. That one is. Enzo, meanwhile, is over here being an angel.
He was pretty agitated earlier.
Yeah. He needs to get the ants out.
Funny in the cover photo. What is the cover photo? Oh, it's them downstairs, I think.
Let's see here.
The first question had to do with tugging, although...
But Riley got that one.
I was going to say, I think she did, yeah.
Yeah, just bear with me while I find some questions here, because Riley and Nick are pretty good about answering.
Am I into drones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I have the Mavic Air. I don't know that I would qualify myself as like an enthusiast, but I have one and I like it. It's just I don't fly it as much. Sometimes it's a bit much with the pups and everything. Keep track of 2 pups and a drone.
Yeah. Luna the German Shepherd asked, tips on walking would be fabulous. I'm assuming that the pup is probably pulling you. And this is somewhat of like
I thought that was the one she answered.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
A little bit of a difficult topic for us to talk about because neither of ours walk on leashes. We have tried the gentle leader. What are you pointing at?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, was there something that
I think it was just the same question, but it's
no,
fine. Go
that
ahead.
was a whole different thing.
Okay.
This is way down farther.
Gotcha.
I'm keeping track of what I'm doing.
Okay.
You mind your business over there on my laptop, and I will figure out everything over here. Gentle leader, like if it's the pulling is the problem, I would recommend a gentle leader. That what it does is it kind of resembles a muzzle, but it's not a muzzle at all. But they have a piece that goes around like their snout, and then it hooks behind their neck, and the leash actually attaches to a clasp that's down a little bit farther that hangs down. And what happens is when they pull, it kind of closes their mouth a little bit, and that's kind of like a negative feeling for them. So then they immediately let up and stop the pulling. So that would be one thing that I recommend. The other thing that you can always try is a harness. I feel like sometimes I feel like 50% of the time that works, 50% of the time that doesn't work. The gentle leader, I feel like when I tell people to do that, they actually go out and buy it because it's not very expensive. And then they typically get back to me, and I hear mostly success stories with the gentle leader. So if pulling is the problem, I would definitely try that. Let's see. Kathy, I know migraines are the worst. Got anything over there, Ben?
Madison said hi. She's under a different username.
Yeah, because her school computer blocks her from seeing our stuff. So that's awesome. So Amber D commented, my boyfriend and I just recently got a rescue 4-year-old German Shepherd dog who has a lot of anxiety from a traumatic accident that she was in. So your all's videos have helped. I thought it was going to be a question, but yeah, that's awesome. We don't necessarily think that Lotus has been through anything traumatic. You would think so.
I mean, he might have been the runt, but that's about it.
Yeah, we're just unsure of like what was happening at the place that we got him from. So either something was going on there that we weren't aware of, or it was just something that's kind of built into his DNA. We don't really know, but I have heard lots of things about pups having anxiety from traumatic experiences that they've been through. So I'm happy that you're able to kind of watch what we're doing with Lotus and implement that, and that it's helping. That's fantastic. That's what we're here to do. Let's see.
There's a territorial by Emily, but it looks like Riley got it.
Okay. This channel has inspired me to get a German Shepherd. Thank you so much. Make sure you're prepared.
Vocal during the car ride. Yeah, Lotus is a little vocal.
A little?
Enzo is not. He's a lot.
Lotus is a lot vocal. We get that a lot too. Like, people are like, well, can't you make them stop doing that? And my response is typically, you know, that's really not something that we want to make them stop doing. You never want to take their voice away. Will and I have just learned to embrace it at this point in time. Enzo used to be a little bit more vocal, but I think since Lotus like kind of overpowers that, Enzo has become less vocal.
At times.
Yeah.
There's still times where he goes.
Yeah.
Like if you see like in the video when I dropped him off to get groomed, like Enzo was like, or anytime, in tomorrow's video, you'll see Enzo be very vocal actually when I leave him in the car. He is, he lets the entire world know.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, both of ours are vocal. Lotus way more than Enzo. And I think from the research that I've done, like German Shepherds are one of the most vocal breeds out there. Like,
I mean, that's just part of it.
It is what it is. So like if that's not something that you're going to be okay with, definitely not going to be a breed for you. It's the same thing with the shedding. Like if you aren't okay with embracing that, then definitely not going to be the breed for you. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty vocal.
Lotus is pretty normal.
Yeah. Rally is how old? 7?
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah. 8?
Because Evo
it's on the website.
was born in 2010, right? And I think Rally was born in 2011. I think you and I like sat down one night and actually like got the papers out and looked it up.
Yeah, and I have it right here because I wanted to know.
Will's going to find that answer. We always forget how old Rally
July
is.
19th, 2011.
2011.
Because we actually looked that up the other day.
So how old is she? So she's not, oh wow, she's old.
She's 9. 9. She'll be 9 this year.
Wow, I really didn't think she was 9. I don't feel like we've had her for 9 years.
Yeah.
9?
Yep.
She's a Siamese cat. She's going to live forever. For sure.
Yeah.
She gets the good food too. Michael, I wish my German Shepherd got along with cats. He hates cats. I think like if they're not socialized in the beginning with them, that they see it as prey. But both of ours, fortunately, which is another reason why we get them as pups, because we have a lot of people that ask us that question. We get them as pups mostly because we have the cat. It gives
Rally an advantage for at least a week or two.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why I think that they're fine with her is just because they don't know any different. And I've seen videos of German Shepherds that are like best friends with a duck.
And I have too, thanks to you.
Or like a bunny or something. It all is about when they are very, very small from day one, whatever or whoever you socialize them with, they will be perfectly fine with that. Lotus, not okay with kids. You know, and that's because he's not ever really been exposed to that. Will and I don't have any kids. We don't
In
really...
his defense, though, it's nothing like other dogs.
No. He's
had little kids come up to him, and he's okay for a minute, and then he's like, that's enough.
About 3 seconds, but yeah.
So, if anybody has a kid that they're not afraid to have
and that's
harmed,
the problem.
You know?
Like, we want to socialize him with kids so that he's okay with them. But it's like
nobody's gonna let a kid.
Yeah, like what do you do? Like go knock on the neighbor's door. Like, hey, can you like bring your kid out so our dog can bark at them for a while? And like,
do they make kids versions of the police testing suit? Like, just have the kid wear that.
Yeah.
Like,
so I don't know. It just is what it is. Let's see.
I don't know. He would adjust, I'm sure.
He would.
He's weird on things, too. The other day, we were downtown. He got afraid of a baseball. The giant baseball they had on the sidewalk. It'll be in a video.
We live by the Red Stadium.
And I realized I'd never taken him to the Red Stadium. I've taken Enzo a bunch of times. And Lotus started freaking out, and I couldn't figure out why. It was because the giant baseball on the sidewalk. I mean, in his defense, that baseball is, like, 8 times his size, but still.
Yeah. Nathan, thank you. What is the customized collar on the 3rd tier of Patreon? That is like their...
We actually got rid of it. It's now just merchandise.
Oh, yeah, now it is just merchandise.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw that ahead of time, you know, we'll still honor it, I guess, if you would prefer that. But since we got our own merchandise now, like...
We switched
this stuff, we just switched it to where you can get any one item for free. But the collar was, like you see, there are Ohio State collars in the videos.
It was like that.
Those were custom made.
I feel like, plan on doing something with collars.
Yeah, because I like those. I like those better than any one we've ever had, but I still don't like them as much as I want. I still want to do something better.
We want to have like our own product line of them, essentially, but as you know, it takes money and time to do that.
Yeah.
Neither of which we have. So, but we do plan on. I think that's going to be like our first like product. That is like ours, 100% that we come out with is the collars, because we have a hard time finding one that we love.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's tons of other people that are probably out there that are the same way.
Yeah. So many of them look just small on Enzo. Like you put it on, you're like, that's like a cat collar or something. Like, what is wrong here?
Yeah.
Same with vests too with him. They just look goofy on him usually.
Someone asked if they fought, but Riley tackled that question.
Yeah.
They play fight. And we have a lot of people that are like, well, where do you draw the line?
You just kind of
and like tone, like you just like like tone with someone that you're talking to, like if they're being condescending or sarcastic. It's the same thing with the pups. Like there's a very slight change in tone when they're playing, and we just usually tell them like you need to take a timeout.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, you just
it's
make them
simple,
sit or
and then we
something.
break them, and they go back, and they're back to doing their craziness. Yeah, they really shouldn't be that tired right now, honestly, because they went to the park this morning.
But they don't really sleep much when we're gone.
Yeah, they came home.
Enzo definitely doesn't.
They were up for a while. Will and I went to church, ran to Sam's, stopped and grabbed something to eat real quick. So, I mean, we were gone for, I bet, at least
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, probably closer to 3 hours. So they were...
But Enzo doesn't sleep.
Yeah, Enzo doesn't really sleep while we're gone, but... They really shouldn't be tired right now. Yeah, my pup has started to get his big boy hair, so he's shedding a lot. I can specifically remember that change for Enzo. Like, he had, like, the fuzziest, like, softest fur ever. And, like, it lasted for, I felt like, a pretty long time. But once that coat went away and he got, like, his real coat, it was Shed City. Hot mess.
Every time I say Riley thinks I'm saying Riley.
Yeah, it's probably a little hard to distinguish. Can German Shepherds swim? Yeah, Nick answered that.
Yeah, any dog can swim.
That's something, though, I feel like you should teach them from the get-go, because, like, Enzo does a refusal.
He can swim. I've seen him do it.
He can swim, because we've thrown the ball in, like, it was, like, a creek.
The first time he was
like
tricked,
that.
and he thought, oh, no big deal, and ran and sunk. And was like, oh, and swam out. He's like, I'm not doing that again.
He swam back, but then after that, he's like, yeah, I don't really think I want to do that. And I always tell Will, I'm like, I think he knows that he weighs a lot. Like, I feel like he knows that, like...
I don't know. That was 2 years ago, though.
He still weighed a lot 2 years ago.
There's an indoor one that you can, like, rent out and stuff.
Oh, yeah. We've been wanting to do that.
So,
yeah,
that'll come up soon. I just got to get Lotus one more shot.
Yeah. Let's see. Are German Shepherds hard to mind? No, not at all. They are one of the easiest training dogs ever. And especially Lotus was for us, because he would just follow what Enzo did.
Yeah. Yeah, the day we brought Lotus home, he's following Enzo around.
Oh, that day one video, like, not even the first hour we were home. Will out in the back. Is that video? That's not on their channel, is it?
No.
Is there a way to get that on their channel?
Yeah.
You should do that, because that's a really cute video.
Yeah.
The video of us driving to get Lotus and, like, the process of bringing him home, and then, like, introducing him and Enzo. Like, literally, as soon as we got home and they met or whatever, Will told Enzo to heel, and he was heeling Enzo in the back in the driveway, and there's Lotus.
Just walking right by.
Heeling right next to him the whole way. So, I mean, like, he just literally followed him from day one. So, he was so easy to train. That video is actually on Will's channel, but he should really put that as, like, a throwback or something on their channel, because I feel like our subscribers would love to see that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's such a cute video. What does the sign on your mantle say with the bone?
Lives like someone left the gate open.
Yeah. Let's see if I can show it. It's cute. I got that for Christmas. Oh yeah, Junior wrote it on there. My stepdad got that for me. So he has 3 pups of his own. So he's a pup lover, and he knows that we love that kind of stuff. So I thought that was a really cute gift. I love it. I don't know where he got it from though, so I can always ask him. I don't think he told me.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I do not ever think that dogs should be kept outside, but that's just my personal opinion. We actually have had people here and there kind of ask us about that. What are you doing, buddy?
I think he woke up and was confused.
He must have like an itch or something. What is he doing? He's acting so weird.
I don't know.
Did something get you? So to the question, it says, I think it's the king of YouTube. What do you think? German Shepherd should stay at home or outside? I would definitely not ever keep a German Shepherd outside. But again, that's just my personal opinion. We treat ours like our kids, so we would never do that. But you may not be in a situation where you can keep them inside all the time. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What else? If you got another dog, what breed should it be? If we get another dog, I don't know. I always say we probably would not get another German Shepherd. Mostly because of the experience that we've had from Lotus. I don't know that we could handle another one like him. So I would be worried that since he is more of what German Shepherds typically are, that we would get another one that was reactive or had like a lot of anxiety. And I don't know if we could handle that whole situation again. So I don't know.
I don't think most are like him though.
I think that he's more typical.
Except for that being deathly afraid of everything part.
Yeah, I don't think all of them are deathly
That's
afraid.
what I mean. And that's where a lot of his comes from.
I think, fear of, his fight or flight type of situation, I think is a little bit more typical.
I don't think that's normal.
I don't know. I don't know what
it's
we would
not even
get.
an issue right now.
Yeah, we have to, lots of things have to happen.
That's like saying, what color Lamborghini would you get?
Yeah.
Like, it just don't even matter.
No, there's not going to be a pup in the near future. We have to get a new house. And yeah, it just.
And a Lamborghini. Yeah.
Would know. So I don't know. I do love St. Bernards and Great Danes. I really like those 2 breeds a lot. But we're definitely, when we do get one, it's probably going to be a female. I will say that. What else we got, babe?
11 weeks old, start taking to a trainer? No. Because that's 2 months.
Yeah, you would definitely not at 11 weeks. At 16 weeks, once they've had their full set of shots, like all their rabies vaccinations and everything are up to date, you could do like a simple, like basic obedience class with them, but you wouldn't be doing like how we've done with ours with an e-collar. To do a training with them that requires them to have the e-collar, you have to wait to about 6 months of age. But you can always start working on like sit, come, down. You can always work on that type of things with just like training treats at home. I mean, we did that with both of ours.
From day one.
Yeah, really, honestly, from day one.
Just treat train. Yeah,
you just use treats to train. It's pretty simple. So I would definitely do that, but I wouldn't like seek out a professional until they've at least had their that last round of shots. And then if you want them to go through a training like Enzo and Lotus have, you would need to wait to 5.5, 6 months.
Our opinions on Rottweilers. I don't really have an opinion on them other than you just have to deal with the stigma.
Yeah, which we deal with that with German Shepherds anyway. It's essentially the same.
It's a little bit less, but it's still there.
Yeah. There's one that lives down the street, actually. And we got to see him when he was a baby. That little Rottweiler, he was so cute. And I see them walking him sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, we just, neither one of us really have much experience with that breed, so we can't really speak to it. What else?
Somebody's shepherd, 7 months old, keeps peeing every time their husband touches him.
I wonder if it's out of fear.
Yeah.
Or out of excitement.
It says they're timid. I don't know.
That's tough. That is going to be something like, a lot of you ask us questions that are like so like specific, and Will and I, we're just normal people that are telling our story to you guys and allowing you guys to follow along. So like sometimes I have to literally like step back and think like that's way out of what I'm educated on. Like we're not trainers, we're not vets, we don't do anything, really that crazy. That is something that I would probably reach out to like a behavioral
they're
trainer.
saying he's 7 months old. I don't know if that means they've had him for like 5 months or if they just got him.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
If they just got him, I would say just time, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and who was the name? It looks like M and A, I think. So if you can clarify, have you had the pup for the whole time that they've pretty much been alive? Or did you just now get the pup and this is something new that's happening? Because that will kind of make a difference in the route that you might want to go. But I don't know that Will and I will be able to really speak on that, in a way that's beneficial to you. That might be something that you need to reach out to like a behavioral trainer and see if you guys can kind of figure out why it's happening, and then you can start implementing things to help. Let's see.
So it's blocking the feed.
Seriously? Bubba.
Enzo, what are you doing?
He's very alert because they've only been out to the park once today.
Poor, deprived, mistreated pups. Well, they can still see through his ears though, so I guess you're good.
Let's see. Tips on recall. Ours recall really well, but that is, I think, simply just because they've been through the training and they know they have to recall. It's very easy for us because they have the e-collars, and they know that if they don't recall that they get a consequence for not recalling. So, if you want them to recall pretty quickly like ours do, you may need to go through some sort of obedience training. That would be something a lot harder to train, just with treats, or, that's going to be a much harder concept to teach them than just, sit, down, come, paw, that type of thing. And a lot of them, they'll recall really well in a very secluded situation, but then you get out there with distractions. There's a deer in the field, there's a squirrel going up the tree, and you try to recall them, and they've done it the past 100 times perfectly, but then they have that distraction, and they don't recall immediately, which is frustrating for you. So I would maybe suggest, we're huge advocates of obedience training. They thrive on training. If you go through a program like that, you're probably going to have a lot more success with the recall that way.
That's why you see me doing like the training with the ball where I'm throwing it. It's just a distraction.
Yeah. Riley and Nick got those. You got that one.
Just looking for something.
He is just looking for something to get into. Tyler, thank you. Do you live around us by any chance?
What?
He said I would love to help socialize Lotus. So he either has kids or other dogs. That's the other thing too. Is like we would love to be able to try to introduce Lotus to more dogs and more people, but it's like finding someone that's willing to sit there for an hour, you know, once a week, because that's basically what we would wind up doing is we would give an hour a week, you know, after work to just working with someone else who has another dog or has kids.
It's extremely boring for the other person.
Yeah, or just like...
I mean, it's literally standing in a parking lot or a field and walking in random patterns.
That's how we did it with our trainer, and he would just bring another one of his pups, and that's literally what we do for an hour or an hour and a half. And so, yeah, I mean, we would love to have people volunteering to do that, but it doesn't happen very often because it's not a comfortable situation to be in.
The other day at the park, a skateboarder freaked him out. So I stood there for like 20 minutes waiting for the skateboarder to come back, and when they finally came back, they stopped and picked up the skateboard and walked by. It's like, oh, just waited all this time for nothing. You gonna sit there now? You're sliding away. You probably just need to lay down.
So it looks like Ariana, did the place where you got them trained start training them with the e-collar? I was looking to start training with my GSD with it, but am too far from the off-leash canine here in Indiana. Yes, they did start, like, from day one, the e-collar was implemented with their training. I'm not sure how far you are from the off-leash in Indiana.
Because they'll meet you, too.
They will meet you part of the way. And for me, like, I feel like if we were in a situation where we weren't close to one, like, I would go as far to driving, like, 2 hours, probably.
I mean, even for us, I mean, it was a 40-minute drive. And that's, you know, I mean, our city's just spread out. So
and you're only going to meet once a week, and depending on what package
you don't have to do it every week. You can meet once, and then you can wait 3 weeks and do another one.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know how far it is from you in Indiana, but it may be worth the drive.
And the schedules are all based on the trainer, so you could potentially do like Sunday evenings or Saturday mornings or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just reading through some of them here to make sure that they were answered. If I've skipped any, just throw them back in at the bottom. Or if Nick or Riley didn't get to one of them, just throw them back in at the bottom. I'm just kind of skimming through.
I don't know where it went now, and I don't know if Riley or somebody got it or Nick got it, but there was a pet insurance question that's going to go in the FAQ.
Yeah, we get asked that a lot. We don't do pet insurance, no.
Yeah.
It just doesn't wind up being worth it in the end. They only cover very specific, small things. Most of the time,
or major.
Yeah.
At which point it's.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like if you're taking them for something, you know what I mean? Like, it's usually catastrophic with them, I feel like, so. Luna the Shepherd says that she's not had a solid poop yet after 6 days. If you recently switched food, I'm going to say that that's probably the number one thing. We always tell people to gradually switch it over. It should be an extremely slow process. So I would say a week and a half to even 2 weeks before you're fully switched over. If you did it that way and they're still not pooping solid yet, you may need to do like a stomach reset. We've done that multiple times with Enzo, and I think at least once with Lotus.
Like the no-fat diet from the vet.
Yeah, you just get the prescription diet from the vet, and they're on it for like a week and a half or 2 weeks sometimes. I feel like it's usually like 14 days. And it'll completely like clear out their system and get them back to being regulated, and then you can slowly start to implement the food again. So that could be the problem there.
They left already, but they said.
Oh yeah, we need to do the drawings.
Oh yeah, we should definitely do that. We were supposed to do that before Q&A.
Yeah, the beds are from Casper, Casper.com.
You can go back to the beginning to hear about them.
Yeah, we talked about them earlier in the video.
All right, you want to do the drawings?
Yeah, we're going to do the drawings. I hope I don't lose my spot on the chat, though. Let's see. All right. This one is going to be from Wednesday's video. So the one that said #Charlie.
Okay.
All right, we're ready?
Yeah.
Okay, it says we had 141. It's really blurry, babe.
I'm trying.
Okay. Oops. Ready?
Yeah.
Brendan, and we have no last name.
But there is the comment. What did they say?
Let me read it. Charlie, that editing at the end confused me too much at first. Oh, I actually remember responding to that comment.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So, Brendan, and then, because he's probably not in here.
DM us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or Facebook.
Yes. And then, I got to get the other one. I saved the link here. I want to copy. This is from the one that still has never, like, we're just missing the person. Paste. What was that hashtag? That one was for Lotus, right? Yeah. #Lotus. All right.
$141.
141 there, too?
You sure? Is that just coincidence?
I don't know. Let's see. Jessica Davies Waller. I've talked to her before, I feel like, so. Wow.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Same deal.
So, yeah, reach out to us on Instagram. Or Facebook, if that's your only way. But Instagram really is easier. Oh, sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to kick you. I didn't really kick him, but my foot kind of went on him. Yeah, and we'll...
Like I said, we're going to try to come up with something that in the future, if people don't... If we have to do this in the future, then we could just literally just give it to somebody in the chat.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather do that for the people who showed up.
Let me say, Brendan, no last name. You're the winner. Yeah, so get in touch with us. Hopefully we get both of them this week, so then we don't have to keep catching up. What else?
Any tips on minimizing jumps on people?
Yeah, the biggest...
Slightly more royal cape.
Yeah, the biggest thing that we say for jumping is if it's on you, it's a little bit easier. If it's on someone else, you just have to kind of explain the situation to them. But we always say just turn your back and cross your arms. They get kind of confused about that, and they typically will not jump, or at least the experience that we've had with Lotus, because Lotus is a jumper. That will typically deter them. They'll get kind of confused. They'll sit down and look at you. When you turn around, make sure that you give them positive praise if they're not jumping. That way, then they make that connection that, oh, I don't jump and I get attention. Like, that's a good thing. Because really, they're jumping to get attention.
And you should have treats, too.
Definitely have treats with you.
And put the treats on the ground.
Yeah. Now, if they jump on you and you cross your arms and you turn your back, and everything's fine, they've chilled out, and you turn back around to give them positive praise, and they jump again, cross your arms and turn your back to them again. So it's just continuing that process until you're able to pet them, give them positive praise without them jumping on you again. Now, that same thing applies for, guests that come to your house. It's just that you're going to have to explain that to them ahead of time so that they know. So I know, I can remember when Lotus was really big with that. He was a lot younger, but when Mom and Tatum would come here and I would tell them, you need to turn your back, just turn your back, and they would. I mean,
I'd say even 6 weeks ago, he was still pretty bad about jumping on you when you came in.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much gotten to the point where...
He's better. He still has his moments.
He recognizes it, though, and that's the big thing. He'll go to do it and stop himself because he's remembering, oh, I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that username is, but they want to know what you're using. That's an iPad Pro.
Yep. I love it.
Somebody had a question they wanted it specifically answered by Enzo, not Riley. Enzo's asleep right now. Can you mix foods? He says he's okay with it.
Yeah, we actually mix 2 different foods.
I mean, when you're transitioning, you should anyways.
Yeah, definitely if you're transitioning.
But we mix hard and soft food.
We do. And they're hard food. It's 2 different flavors. So
Yeah.
we buy the salmon and the chicken, and we mix those together. Well, Will mixes them together because it's way too heavy for me to do. But we mix them together in like a big food tub. And if you've watched videos for any length of time, I'm sure that you've seen him do that process. So chicken and salmon together, and then for 2 of their 4 meals a day, this needs to go on the frequently asked questions because I feel like I explain this a lot. For 2 of their 4 meals a day, we mix in salmon soft food, in with those.
A lot
meals.
of that comes to do with, because that's when we put all their supplements in, so it just helps it all kind of blend.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just jumping around at this point.
So when I came back in, it threw me at the bottom. So I've completely lost my spot. So like slightly more Royal Kate, she threw her question back in because she realized that it got into the mix somewhere. So I'm all the way at the bottom now. So if something has not been answered, even to your satisfaction, then throw it back in there and we'll touch base on it. But I think at this point we're going to start wrapping up. So if there are any last minute questions or it got skipped somehow, go ahead and throw it in now so then we can take care of those.
What are the components of your sound system? I guess they mean that one? Like in the living room?
I don't know. Who said it?
Beekeepers 12.
So do you mean sound system is the system that we have set up in our living room speakers, or the system that we have set up doing the audio for us right now for you guys to hear us? Clarify that, get back to us. Can microchipping a dog cause problems later on? Not that I'm aware of. That's not something that I've ever researched before.
I would say the risk is minimal and the positives strongly outweigh it.
Yeah.
And there's risk with anything, I suppose, but...
I would not use Safeway to take the paint off of the nose. I would just let the paint come off the nose on its own. Because I have a feeling
Safeway?
It's kind of like the stuff that I used in the bathroom.
I wouldn't use any chemicals.
No, I wouldn't use anything like that to get it off.
They got paint on the dog?
On the dog's nose.
You could use alcohol if you were gentle.
I would just leave it on there and let it come
it'll
off.
wear itself off.
Yeah.
The t-shirt, they make we make t-shirts with this.
Yeah, can they see yours? And do you have it on the back?
Yeah, but they don't have that.
Yeah, but they can, if they win, they can ask for it. So we put...
I can't see if they can.
Yeah, you're good. We put their tag on ours. Like, I have one that has it on there too. Now, I did do a poll to see if you guys wanted them like that, and the consensus of that was that you guys would prefer it not to have Enzo and Lotus's name on there, and that you would rather have it blank, which I completely understand because, if you're not like a super crazy fan, you just want it to be, you don't want it to have another person's dog's name on there. That makes complete sense. Now, someone that we sent a t-shirt to, she did want Enzo and Lotus's Instagram tag on there, and so I actually put it on there for her and sent it to her that way. So it kind of just depends, but for the most part, I think people want them plain on the back.
Yeah.
What shampoo do you recommend? We use...
It's in the notes.
Yeah, it's in the notes
below this video.
And we use that as a proactive shampoo because it deters fleas and ticks, and we...
Oh. I meant a safe way. Sorry, go. Finish what you're saying.
Oh. What was I talking about? Shampoo.
Yeah.
It deters fleas and ticks.
Yeah.
So we use that more as a proactive measure, like for wipe downs and whatnot.
Apparently, it was autocorrect failed. She was just asking what a safe way to remove it was. So what you answered anyways. Yeah.
I would just leave it on there, or just like a paper towel maybe, and just rub it a little bit with water. Yeah. I think it'll probably peel right off. Sorry, I thought Safeway was like something that you put on there to remove it from because we have something like that.
I thought it was a grocery store.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, try rubbing with a terry cloth towel. Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, microchip is very, very small. That's what I said. I would think that any kind of, I just can't imagine anything weird happening with that, but I don't know. I'm sure that weird things have happened with it. We have not researched that.
I don't think it's too risky. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, so Mama the service dog is really Madison Posa, who's the one that got the t-shirt that has their Instagram tag on the back.
Yep. So
she's the one that has it on there. But that was what she requested. I think most people just want them plain though. Yeah, not too many baths. So we usually say limit to like 3-ish baths a year, maybe 4.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how crazy you're being, but, you know, like if they get in water.
Yeah, like if
they're getting into creeks and stuff, then that's
you
different.
have to come home and get a bath after that situation. Yeah, there's no way around that. Or like if they are like rolled in mud, which I've seen plenty of videos
I mean, some of our wipe downs are pretty intense.
Yeah. Yep. How many treats do you use in a training session? I don't know if the treats Nutro I used or it was too many, but my Malinois had loose stools for like a day. Yeah, so Mark Hernandez just posted that question like a second ago. We use Blue Buffalo training treats, and I always tell people like they're the size of like my pinky fingernail. They're so tiny. And I know like you think like what dog would be like, especially Enzo weighing over 100 pounds. Like you think this little, he will do anything for one of those.
You can also use just food.
Yeah.
Like if they have dry food.
Yeah, if they have like dry food, you can always use like a little.
Some pups were happy with that.
Yep. So that's what I would do. But yeah, my thought is that if they had loose stool for like a day after that, it was 100% the treats that had done that. It was just overdone. So I would recommend, I'm sure the Blue Buffalo training treats are linked below. Try those out, see if that makes a difference. You can give a pretty significant amount without, or at least we've been able to.
Yeah.
Or just get like a handful of their dry food if you give them dry food and just use that because that's not going to interrupt anything in their system at all. That's not going to be anything new.
You know, somebody else asked something about the jumping, I think, or something. Anyways, I was just going to add that, what is she doing? That the friends and family that come over, they're the worst about listening to what you say, so that's not helping the situation. Like when you're trying.
Did they say they have friends and family that?
Yeah, and I may have found the original question or something where it was different, but it just made me think that because like when we have guests over, we tell them things and they don't listen.
Most of the time they do. Well, it depends.
So
on who
you
it
could
is.
run onto that too, to where because you know you'll tell them ignore them and turn around and they don't.
They
ignore
might
them.
have a hard time.
Or they don't want them to jump on their back even still or something. So
yeah,
it's
tough, but you do the best you can with it. We still tell people when they come over certain things, regardless if we think that they're going to do it or not. I mean, I don't know what she's being crazy. She needs to get the sleepies out of her eyes.
She said she's good.
Riley said, "Hi, Riley." Thank you, Eileen. We try. It's what most of our time is devoted to, especially Will's.
We used to not let her on the couch much, but after Enzo and Lotus, we kind of gave up that battle and said, just do whatever you want, Riley.
Yeah. Everyone likes Riley. Every time she's in a video, too, like, we get more comments about her than we do, like, pup-related stuff. They're, like, obsessed with her. She is she's partially Siamese, but she's not full Siamese cat. But her coloring's pretty cool. And when I got her, she was like super, super fluffy, but she's not very fluffy anymore. I thought she was going to be like long hair, but she was not. We used to shave her.
Yeah.
For a while, for long.
Because that way we didn't have to deal with the fur. We used to think it was bad. We used to think, oh my gosh, all this cat fur. And then we got into it, we're like, whatever, Riley.
Because I remember when we had her and Evo,
Used to think it was bad.
Eva was the other cat that we had. We'll have to like post some pictures of her.
Yeah.
And Eva used to shed really bad, but like I can remember like going crazy about the cat fur in the house. And like now I think of where we are now with the dog hair in the house, and it is like really cat fur. What's that? Oh, so, Brendan, I think is actually in here. The one that won, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, find me.
Brendan, he said, oh, I just saw it. Yeah, get a hold of us on Instagram, Brendan.
Yeah, don't post your address in the chat or anything crazy like that.
Yeah. So just what you'll do is you'll get on the merchandise website, and you'll pick out what t-shirt you want and color and size, and just send me like a snap of it, just like a picture of it, and then send me your address, and I'll get it sent out to you tonight. It does take a little while for them.
Yeah, well, it depends, because they only make, like, I don't know what the schedule is, but like Tuesdays they might just make hoodies, and Wednesdays they might just make t-shirts, and Thursdays they might make something else. So depending on when it's ordered, this one showed up probably about 5 days quicker than the last one.
But we live close to where their facility is.
It ships out of CVG, which is Cincinnati's airport, and that's where we live. So like it doesn't even have to get on a plane for us or anything.
Yeah. Now
and it still took over a week.
Madison's took a while to get to her. Like I can remember when I ordered it, like her delivery date was like February 22nd or 24th or something like that. She did get it ahead of whatever they had scheduled, but I remember thinking like, man, that's kind of a long time. Well,
because if they only do whatever it is on like Fridays and you order on a Monday, well, it's going to take a few days before they even get around to it.
Yeah.
Has Lotus ever taken off due to his reactiveness? He's allowed. Yeah. So, yes. So he will still break a heel command and stuff, which is why a lot of times you see me with a leash with him still, if I feel like we might run into something. But how long it takes him to readjust. Like we had a dog just the other day.
Oh, I'll tell them this story. I was telling my mom this story.
So we were at the park, and this person, they didn't come in the normal way. They like came in through the woods or something weird, and I didn't know they were there. And they came around like a blind corner, and I didn't have him in a heel or anything, so he didn't break a command, but he was just kind of walking ahead of us. Of course, he saw him. He took off running straight towards them, barking his head off, but I recalled him, and I mean, he didn't go but 5 feet. I mean, the time it took from the moment he saw him to the time I yelled for him to come, a few seconds, and he turned around and came back. So, I mean...
But tell them the actual story.
Then the lady called the cop.
No, not that one. The one where you guys went in the dugout.
Oh, that one. That's a different one.
So let me say this first before Will tells the story.
That story.
So sometimes we have people comment on our videos, and they get upset with us because we have our dogs off leash, but sometimes we might say something about another dog owner having their dog off leash. And I always let them know and respond that our pups are highly trained. They won't move unless we tell them to move.
Lotus will move a few feet.
Yeah, Lotus is a little, but I mean, for the most part, they're not going to leave our side unless we tell them that is
Yeah, he's not going to go running down the road or anything.
Most people that have their dogs off leash at the park do not have that type of control over their dogs.
They come back until there's a distraction.
Yeah. So, anyway, your story.
Yeah, we were going to play fetch, I think. It was the first time since Enzo was taped up or something, so I didn't have the camera or anything. I don't remember why I didn't have the camera. I don't know if that was the reason or what. But for some reason, I think
you were doing TikTok instead.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
We need to come back to that, too.
Yeah, anyway. I was doing TikTok, so I just brought my phone because I was going to do a couple little TikTok videos and not the main camera. And we're walking up the steps to the main field, like the main park. Like, we didn't even walk around. We just were going straight up to the field. And off to the side, I saw, like, a couple dogs walking. And I was like, uh-oh, like, we better go this way. So I told Enzo and Lotus to come the other way. And I put them in a heel, and we went the opposite direction. Thankfully, by some miracle, Lotus he was so fascinated by the fact that I had the stick and ball, and he knew it, that he kind of glanced and he was like, meh, whatever. Like, I'm going to focus on this. And I kept looking over my shoulder, and sure enough, like, I hear that guy go, like, come, like, he's recalling them, and he's recalling them, and he's recalling. And I turn around, and there's just this giant dog coming running at us, and I'm like, uh-oh. So we thankfully got into the dugout, and I shut the dugout door just in time.
That they were, like, right
like,
there.
Like, the minute I latched it, there was those dogs. And they were like, one was a golden doodle, and as soon as Lotus barked, the golden doodle was like, see you later. But that's the issue.
It's still really scary for us because their dogs might be friendly, but Lotus is not friendly.
Lotus is friendly, but he is a shoot first, ask questions later. He assumes the worst in dogs. And yeah, it's like, even if I have them on a leash, there's not much I can do in that situation.
Yeah.
He wasn't on a leash, but it wouldn't have mattered if he was.
He still was right next to Will's leg.
Because I can't, I had him by his collar, which is the same difference, but to try to, like, restrain them if it happens to be a dog that's like Lotus that's going to want to be barking and going crazy, like, that's just going to be bad.
Yeah. So that's scary.
Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking, just trying to get there.
And see, I would have not handled that situation the same way that Will handled that situation. So that's another reason why I won't ever, it's rare that I will take them to the park by myself or out in public by myself. Usually I have one or the other. Like, I can take Enzo or I can take Lotus. Will has them both all the time, but I probably would have stopped walking and started screaming for the guy to get his dog, which would have not helped anything at all.
No, that would have just got Lotus's attention.
Yeah, so I would have not handled it how Will handled it. So thankfully Will was the one that was there in that situation, but that scares me.
Yeah. Honestly, had the dugout not been there, the only thing I probably could have done was grab his collar and tried to wedge him against the wall with my weight to keep him separate.
Because Lotus would have
and let Enzo be on the outside, because Enzo's not going to... And it was a golden doodle, so I was... if I'd have turned around and seen something that looked... It didn't look aggressive, doesn't mean anything. But, so, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was scary. Because I come home and he's like, well... It finally happened, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened now? Like, we're just getting over Enzo's paw being better, and I knew they had just gotten home from the park. I'm like, oh, Lotus went after somebody. Like, I'm just, like, thinking worst case scenario in my head. But thankfully, ours were under control. I'm thinking, what did Lotus do? But, Lotus was completely under control.
He listened to me the whole time.
And it was somebody else's dog.
Yeah.
And that's when it scares me, because we're not in control of other people's dogs. We are 100% we have control of ours. But when it's somebody else's, you're helpless in that situation.
There was a video, I couldn't even begin to guess what video it was in, but we were hiding behind a wall for a while because there was a dog loose.
Yeah,
and I couldn't get the pups to the FJ because, like, we were here, the FJ was here, and that dog was there.
And there was
like,
no owner.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no way I can safely get them into the FJ before that dog also gets to the FJ.
Yeah.
So, like, we were literally just kind of hanging out behind this, like, porta potty enclosed fixture wall thing, just hoping that dog didn't see us.
Yeah. Yeah, Betsy, we talked actually about jumping not too long ago, so if you rewind a bit, you might be able to listen in on that conversation.
Madison told him to.
Yeah, I literally kind of just talked about that. Anything else, you guys, that you can think of? We're just kind of chatting now at this point. We don't really have, there's not really many questions.
What did you want to say about TikTok?
Oh, just that we have a TikTok now.
Oh, yeah.
For the pups.
That Enzo and Lotus.
Yep, same as always, that Enzo and Lotus. But yeah, they have a TikTok now.
Yep. They have that. And I'll give you guys...
Oh, yeah, you had it up there. I forgot you were doing that.
Yep. And then I can also put the mailing address now.
Yeah, we have some people that ask for the P.O. box. It's linked in every video, but sometimes it's just easier to give it to you guys. So we have that as well. Shireen, which I don't know if she's still in here or not, she sent us a Valentine's Day card for Valentine's Day, which we absolutely loved. So,
Don't send one now. It's too late.
Yeah. We love cards and letters and stuff like that. You don't have to send us anything material. Like, even if you just want to write us and talk to us, like, through just a letter, we are perfectly fine with that. We love getting that type of stuff. So, well, I do. I make Will wait.
I'm assuming somebody just followed us on TikTok.
Oh, did you get a notification?
Yeah.
I make Will wait when they get stuff out of the P.O. box. Like, they're not allowed to open it unless I'm home. So... really it's more exciting for me. I like it. Oh, Jeff, yeah, I saw that your experience at the dog park went well, and Fritz looked like he was having the absolute time of his life. So I did see that video in the Facebook private group. So yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, that's really slow.
What?
That's not supposed to be that slow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the patrons are coming down the page, but apparently Will messed up on the timing on that.
I did this when I was under the allergy influence, so that didn't quite come out the way it was meant to.
He had a lot of Benadryl yesterday, and that right there tells me.
Hey, but everything's spelled right, so I mean, that's something. So, I mean, hey, take what you can get.
Yeah, that'll be 20 minutes before that's done.
That's okay.
Oh my gosh.
It's more meant for the real videos, but.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Jeff, have a good time at the dog park. We hope Fritz doesn't tackle you. If you take any videos or pictures or anything, stick them in the Facebook private group if you don't mind. Just so we can see. Jack, to answer your question, I'm a little bit behind on that. I was just kind of looking at the very bottom. It really just depends on what type of training you want to do. We just chose e-collar training versus treat training. We tend to see, like, our dogs specifically, they aren't always motivated by treats.
Well, and I mean, you can't make a dog do anything.
Yeah.
You can't make a human do anything for that matter. All you can do is make them want to do it.
Yeah.
So they have to want to do it.
Yeah.
And if all you're giving them is the same old treat that you normally do, meanwhile, there's some new dog they can run towards.
Yeah.
They may say, you know what, I've had enough treats today, I'm good.
Yeah. I guess for us, it was just wanting to always have this, for me, it's the security and the safety of knowing that even if there is a distraction, I can get their attention. Even if we're in an emergency situation, a treat may not get their attention quickly, but the e-collar will because of the way that works. So I think for us, it was just mostly about
to get them to stop and listen. Safety
and security for us is really why we chose it. It is completely a personal decision, though. Not everybody is for the e-collar, but for us, it's been very, very successful. And you have to build that relationship and that trust with your pup first. You know what I mean? Before you start that e-collar training, I think really building that bond with them is the most important thing. Because once you have that trust with them and that bond with them, they're going to want to do whatever you want them to do. So I think that helps as well.
Yeah. I'm sure we probably missed something, but
Susie said we were funny today. That's probably mostly me. Probably.
You fight so much to be on videos, but then
I hate being in the videos. The YouTube videos, I hate it. I'm like, no, don't put me in here. He's like, I just need you to do this little part. But then, he's like, I just need you to do this little part. What I want you to do is jump off the wall outside, and when you're jumping off of that wall, you need to say this and then hit the camera. I'm like, what? So, most of the time, I don't even understand what he really wants me to do. And I just don't like being on the camera. I don't mind doing the live stream. That's a little bit more...
You hated it at first.
I think, I don't know. It's just more personal, the live stream is. I don't like being in the videos. Anyway, she was probably talking about me.
Probably.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be in the live streams either. And I kind of just handed it to you for a second. And you're like, what do I do? And you started talking.
The live streams were easier. Initially, I didn't want to do them, though, but we
weren't going to do this one.
Yeah, we're
on our way home, and she's like, I think we should do a live stream after I put the living room back, put all the equipment away.
I just feel bad. I feel like you guys count on us being here on the weekend and, getting to talk to us, and, I just like spending time with you guys.
It takes, 45 minutes to set all this up.
It really does. It is not an easy process to set up the live stream whatsoever. So, I just feel bad. And I'm like, well, we can just get on there for a little bit. And I still have, 12 hours of studying to do. So
then you come in,
well.
why aren't you done yet? Are you... So, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Riley. All right.
I think we're...
Do you want to show them the pups before we get off of here?
They can see Lotus. He's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, they can see Lotus. Riley says we should start a Twitch.
Yeah. You know what? Tell him what you said when I told him about TikTok.
Yeah, so when Will was like,
rolled her eyes at me.
So I created a TikTok for the pups today, and I was like, oh, really? So who's going to keep up with that? Because I already can't keep up with, you have YouTube community, you have
which you just learned how to do.
Which I just learned how to do. You have Facebook private group, you have Patreon, you got to post something in there. What else is there? The website, Instagram, then all the messages that come along with Instagram. I'm like, who has time to keep up with a TikTok? Are you out of your mind? Like, that's literally what I said to him. Like, are you serious? Because I can't keep up with anything else.
Here's the setup.
Oh, yeah, that's what it looks like on our end. So that's what we're actually looking into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot Mess Express. We need a studio.
You can't see all the wires and everything going.
Yeah. It's cray.
The mic that the pups run into all the time.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then this camera.
Yeah. That's
pup vision.
That's my camera. Will's is way better than mine, but
I wouldn't say way better.
But I don't use mine for anything crazy.
Alright. Never did find out what that question meant, but this is the setup. If that's what it had
Oh,
to do
yeah.
with.
I didn't know if they were talking about the speakers or our actual setup to do this.
The only audio for this is this mic.
Yeah. Yep. So you'll probably take the pup somewhere?
I guess I'm going to take the pup somewhere. They
need some... I know, Alex, we do need a camera guy. We need a camera guy. We need an editor. We need a person to keep up with social media. It's a hot mess around here.
You like doing that, though.
I do like I like replying to all the comments. I really do get joy out of that. So I probably won't ever give that up. I actually enjoy that.
All right.
Yeah, Enzo is a big boy.
That'll do it?
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see you guys. There will be a new video up tomorrow.
We will be here next weekend, assuming that no sicknesses or anything crazy happens. Yeah. So we'll probably plan on Saturday. Saturday is a less busy day for us. So, yeah. All right, guys.